Yo guys, what's up and welcome to the trade recap of the trade that I took yesterday. I also took this trade live. I recorded everything. So if you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out. Also, again, feel free to join our Discord. It's on my channel, the link. I don't know why I can't currently put the links in the description of the Discord. But again, the Discord is completely for free. All the information, all the value is provided there for free. We don't want to sell you anything there. Maybe we will have some kind of upgraded memberships in the future, but this is still in discussion. So far, everything is for free. So don't miss that opportunity. There's lots and lots of value regarding trading. Not only day trading, there's way more value in there. So I can highly recommend you to join this Discord. So yeah, with that being said, let's just go over the confluences that were leading me into my long entry that I took yesterday on the S&P 500. So yeah, we were in this huge 4-hour bearish fair value gap, still consolidating. Let me draw this in for you. Yeah, as we've been for the past few days, like this bearish fair value gap is holding pretty strong and we kept respecting it the entire time. I also saw this low resistance liquidities up here in the all-time high region, and I had no really strong bias. Like I didn't have a strong bias because I could imagine yesterday both moves to the upside, sweeping the liquidity of the all-time highs, but I could also imagine that we move down, sweeping previous day lows and also pre-session lows, Asia lows, London lows. So I was pretty careful. You can also see that in my live trade that I recorded. I was pretty careful with my bias, and I was just trying to adapt to the price action, and I was patiently waiting for an opportunity to execute. So with that in mind, that we were consolidating in this huge bearish fair value gap, let's just erase that fair value gap. I saw that we were also kind of consolidating pre-market, London session, Asia session also. So yeah, I was just waiting what will happen after market open. So you can see market opened and we pushed to the downside. We swept this 15-minute low and this 15-minute low, completely swept that out. So from there on, as always, try to scale down to lower time frames to see how market is reacting off of these key levels. You can see I also still had marked out more liquidities that I thought were very important, including London lows that we had right here. So yeah, you can see, damn, like this was choppy price action. Like basically the first 10 minutes into market open was just sideways action. But we swept out 15-minute lows that I just showed you. The last low was, I think this one. So we swept it out. We got an immediate response to the upside. And not only did we inverse this bearish fair value gap that we formed right here, this bearish 1-minute fair value gap, we also broke structure to the upside right here with that bullish blue candle. So we had an inverse fair value gap plus break of structure to the upside, and I entered off of these confluences. And yeah, I was targeting these all-time highs up here, and preferably I would like to take my first take profits on this previous market open high, London high, call it whatever you want, 15-minute high. Yeah, essentially this is just London high. So unfortunately, it was a pretty quick trade. You can see that also in my live trade. Again, I keep referring to it because I think it also gives you a lot of value. But my thought process behind that trade was, okay, we will take out now London highs before we will move down towards London lows, Asia lows, and all these low resistance liquidities that are resting here. Because if you look at the 15-minute time frame, you can just see that all of this right here all of these liquidities that are resting down here, it's just a matter of time until we sweep them out. So I was kind of bearish, but also kind of bullish. That's why I'm saying like I didn't have a strong bias. But eventually my prediction was that we sweep out now previous day highs, London highs, and then we will continue to the downside. But yeah, my prediction wasn't correct. Let's see what happened. Yeah. So initially this take profit didn't exist. I just wanted to take profit again on London highs and all the way up here on all-time highs. But I saw that yes, we had a nice response after we swept out the 50-minute lows and I was already up good in profit, but I also kept an eye on NASDAQ. And NASDAQ, let me show this to you, NASDAQ swept, while I was already in my trade, NASDAQ swept out all-time highs. NASDAQ swept out all-time highs while ES was still down here. And what I want to show you on the 5-minute on S&P 500, wait, on the 5-minute time frame on the S&P 500, I was up here and this 5-minute high got taken out at the same time as NASDAQ was sweeping all-time highs right here. And I was kind of scared because maybe now NASDAQ swept out all-time highs while ES didn't, obviously, and we will form a bearish SMT divergence and we will continue lower. And S&P will fail to sweep out all-time highs. And this is exactly what happened. So what I did is I erased this take profit that I initially wanted to have as my first take profit. So I moved my TP from this high that I wanted to take profit to this 5-minute high because I saw that NQ swept out all-time highs, ES sweeps out this 5-minute high, so I only was able to close out, I think it was like 30%, something like this, of my position and moved my stops to break even, and I got stopped out at break even immediately. This was a very quick move. You can see it also in my live trade. Oops, you can see it also in my live trade. It happened very quickly. I was maybe like 2 minutes, not even in this trade, but I was still able to manage some profits. And this is exactly what I wanted to show you, that sometimes, again, you don't need to catch the right move. You don't need to make huge profits all the time. And like as much as you are able to avoid a loss, try to avoid a loss. Of course, you can argue that this profit taking wasn't perfect because I moved my TPs. So yeah, my profit taking wasn't on point, I have to be honest, but I was able to avoid a loss. So yeah, my risk to reward ratio was also not the best. You can see on the break of structure, it was almost like not even a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio to this 5-minute high. This was my first take profit. So yeah, the risk to reward ratio was very bad, but I just wanted to play it safe. Why? Because I could imagine that this right here will be a turning point because NASDAQ swept out all-time highs. And I was right, it was a turning point. ES all of a sudden continued lower because the sell pressure was too big after NASDAQ swept all-time highs. And if I wouldn't move my TP to this 5-minute high right here, I would have been stopped out and lost. So I was able to avoid a loss with some small profit, which is always amazing. And this is what I mean with be like water. Of course, sometimes profit taking and moving your TPs is not the right idea, but you have to adapt to the market conditions that are given. So in this case, I saw NASDAQ swept all-time highs. I moved my TPs lower to secure some profits. Was it the best risk to reward ratio? Absolutely not, but I was able to avoid a loss and even make some profit. And yeah, if you just look now what happened after all of this. Yes, of course, all this low resistance liquidity that I wanted to see to get taken out got taken out. Yeah, it was just too choppy price action, but I was still able to manage to catch a move somehow and make some small profits. So with that being said, I hope you guys got the hang of it, that sometimes you just don't need to always catch the main move. I keep saying this over and over again. As long as you take your profits, manage your positions, that's the best thing that you can do. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys learned something from this trade recap. I definitely learned something. I don't know why Siri is now active, but yeah. See you in the next trade recap. Peace out.